Let's just get honest for a second. We all know men are visual creatures, but if you think that's all that drives them in the bedroom, tight lingerie, a seductive pose, or a dimly lit room with candles, then you're only scratching the surface, because while those things are exciting, they're not what make a man stay. They're not what make a man obsess. And they're certainly not what make a man feel a deeply addictive, primal, emotional, even spiritual connection to you in bed. So the question isn't just what turns a man on physically, it's what makes a man feel irresistibly drawn to you over and over again, not just for sex, but because being with you feels like an experience he can't find anywhere else. Today, I want to share 5 things that deeply turn guys on in the bedroom. And I'm going to say this right now. These are the things that aren't just about lust. They're about intimacy, energy, and a certain kind of feminine power that men can't explain but crave at their core. Confidence that doesn't ask for permission is one of the most magnetic qualities a woman can bring into the bedroom. And it's not about arrogance or being overly aggressive. It's about having an energy that says, I know who I am, I know what I want, and I don't need validation to claim it. That kind of confidence is a deep turn on for men, not because it makes you dominant or in control all the time, but because it makes you grounded in yourself. It allows you to show up fully, unapologetically, and authentically in your sensuality. And the truth is, many women don't realize how much they've been taught to shrink themselves in intimate moments, to be pleasing, to be gentle, to ask for approval with every touch, look, or movement. For a woman who doesn't constantly seek permission to be sexy, expressive, or in control in moments of intimacy becomes something more than attractive. She becomes undeniable. There's something electric about a woman who knows her body and trusts it. She doesn't second guess whether she looks good when she takes her top off. She's not wondering if she's doing it right. Instead, she lets her instincts guide her. She doesn't wait for him to initiate every move. Sometimes she takes the lead without making it a power play. She leans into her own desire, moves in a way that feels good to her, and shares that energy with him without holding back. That's what makes a man feel like he's not just sleeping with someone who's physically beautiful, but with someone who is lit from within. And that kind of confidence, the kind that radiates through your posture, your voice, your eye contact, your touch, creates a completely different sexual experience. It's not just about the act anymore. It becomes a dance of 2 people who are fully alive in their bodies, fully present with each other. And here's the part that many people miss. Confidence in the bedroom doesn't mean you have all the answers. It's not about being perfect or having all the right moves. In fact, it often means being totally okay with the unknown. It's about showing up with the belief that who you are, as you are, is enough. That you don't have to ask, is this okay, before you kiss him a certain way, or pause to seek reassurance before you express a desire. When you move from that place, your sensuality becomes effortless, because it's no longer about performance, it's about presence, and presence is intoxicating. When a man is with a woman who is fully owning her moment, not trying to impress him, not trying to copy a movie scene, but just being in her body, he can't help but be drawn in. So yes, wear the lingerie if you want, set the mood, light the candles, but remember, the most powerful thing you can bring to the bedroom is your inner fire, the confidence that doesn't need to be invited. If you want to know what turns a man on more than anything you do to him in the bedroom, it's this: how you respond to what he does to you. That's the secret most people miss, because while technique matters and passion matters, what really drives a man wild is feeling like he's having an emotional and physical impact on you, that his touch, his kiss, his presence is causing waves in your body, in your mind. Most women don't realize how powerful their responsiveness is, They focus so much on trying to perform well, trying to be sexy, look perfect, make all the right moves, that they forget the most erotic thing a woman can be is present in the moment, fully immersed in her own pleasure, fully expressing that she's feeling it. When you moan, when you gasp, when your body involuntarily moves toward him or arches under his touch, that's when he feels like he is turning you on. And that right there, that's what makes him feel alive. It's not about ego, it's about connection. A man wants to feel like the experience he's sharing with you is landing, that it's not just going through the motions, but actually lighting something up inside you. Your expressions, whether vocal or physical, become a mirror for his impact. They tell him that he's not just present in your bed, he's present in your soul. Let me be clear, this doesn't mean faking anything. In fact, fake moaning or exaggerated reactions can be a complete turnoff because they create distance instead of intimacy. What turns a man on is authentic expression. It can be subtle, a shaky breath, the way your eyes flutter shut, the way you whisper his name when he finds that perfect rhythm, or it can be loud and wild. What matters is that it's real, that you're not holding back what you feel, that you're giving yourself permission to receive and express. Because when you do that, you turn lovemaking into a shared energy exchange. Not just friction between bodies, but a fire that feeds off both of you back and forth over and over. Men live for that feedback loop. The more you respond, the more invested he becomes. The more vocal, expressive, and emotionally open you are, the more he leans in, explores, and becomes attuned to your needs. Your responsiveness invites him to go deeper, not just physically, but emotionally. It gives him the green light to explore more of you. And in return, it tells him you feel safe with him. And safety, ironically, is what gives birth to the wildest passion. Because when a woman is safe, she's free. And when she's free, her body becomes an instrument of raw, unfiltered desire. So the next time you're in that intimate space, let go of being perfect. Let go of trying to impress, and instead let yourself be felt, because when a man sees you lose yourself in the moment, that's when he finds himself completely lost in you. There's something deeply erotic, almost primal, about being with someone who surprises you. And not just surprises you with lingerie or new positions, but surprises you with a side of themselves that feels hidden from the rest of the world. Every man, no matter how confident, masculine, or experienced he is, has this secret desire to be the one who unlocks something in you. Not something performative, not something pre-rehearsed, but something raw, something wild, something no one else gets to see. It's that unpredictable energy, the sudden shift when you take control for a moment, when your eyes darken with mischief, when you pull him closer and whisper something naughty, playful, or even commanding. That flips a switch inside him. Because in that moment, you're not just playing a role, you're becoming a mystery he wants to solve over and over again. And it's not just about doing something wild, it's about him feeling like he brings that out in you, that side of you that's untamed, spontaneous, daring. It's not for everyone, it's just for him. And that's where the turn on really lies, not just in the act itself, but in the intimacy of it being something you've never shown anyone else. It makes him feel chosen, trusted, desired, like he's the only one who gets access to this hidden dimension of you. And when you drop into that space, when you let that side out without filtering or second guessing, you create a moment that's electric, unforgettable. It could be as simple as surprising him by pinning his hands for a moment, or as bold as whispering your fantasy in his ear and watching his jaw clench in anticipation. It doesn't have to be loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's the shift in your tone. Sometimes it's the way your nails dig into his back, or the way you suddenly flip the dynamic and take over, even just for a few seconds. Those are the moments that sear into his memory, that replay in his mind long after the lights go out. But the real magic isn't in what you do, it's in why you do it. When you let your wild side show because you want to, not because you feel like you should. When you do it because you feel safe, turned on, playful, and present, he doesn't just feel excited, he feels honored. And that's the difference. Because here's the truth. What turns a man on isn't just sex, it's access. Access to parts of you no one else gets. And when that wild, unpredictable part of you comes out, the one that's spontaneous, fierce, sensual, playful, and he realizes that it's not for show, it's for him, it changes everything. Suddenly, sex isn't just something you do, it's a place you go together. And once he's seen that version of you, he'll crave it again and again, not just because it's hot, but because it's yours. There's a moment, one that often goes unnoticed, but holds the power to transform everything, when your eyes lock with his during intimacy. And I'm not talking about a quick glance. I'm talking about that deep, lingering, soul-gripping eye contact that doesn't flinch, doesn't look away, doesn't apologize. That moment when your gaze says, I'm here, I'm with you, and you're mine right now. It's subtle, silent, but it hits like lightning. Because in that moment, sex isn't just a physical experience anymore. It becomes emotional, personal, even sacred. So many people underestimate the power of eye contact in the bedroom. They think it's awkward or too intense. But that's exactly why it's powerful, because it is intense. And that intensity is the gateway to connection, real soul to skin connection. When you hold his gaze while your bodies are moving, when you keep your eyes open during a kiss, when you look straight into him at the height of passion, you're saying something words could never fully express. I see you, I want you, I'm not hiding. That kind of energy creates a gravitational pull that goes way beyond lust. It invites him into your world, not just your body, but your emotion, your intention, your presence. Most people are terrified of being truly seen because eye contact makes you vulnerable. It strips away the performance. It eliminates distraction. You can't hide behind angles or positions or seductive tricks when your eyes are locked in that space. There's nowhere to run. It's just you, fully there, fully exposed. But that's exactly what makes it so magnetic. Because when you dare to hold eye contact in those raw, unguarded moments, it sends a message to him. You can handle me. I trust you with this moment, and I want to feel everything with you. And here's what most women don't realize. Men crave that kind of intimacy. They crave the feeling of being wanted, not just physically, but emotionally. They crave the sensation of being chosen in a way that feels primal and pure. And nothing delivers that message quite like steady electric eye contact in the heat of passion. It tells him he's not just a body to you. He's a presence, a force, a man you want to connect with, not just consume. So the next time things get heated, try something simple but bold. Don't look away. Hold his gaze, even just for a few seconds longer than you normally would. Let your eyes soften or smolder or smile. Whatever you feel, let it be seen. Let him be seen. And notice how everything shifts. Because in that moment, you're not just touching his body, you're touching his soul. And that's the kind of turn on that haunts a man in the best way. It makes the experience unforgettable, unrepeatable, and most of all, irreplaceable. One of the sexiest things a woman can bring into the bedroom isn't a technique, a toy, or a perfectly rehearsed routine. It's a spirit of adventure, a willingness to explore together, and not just physically, but emotionally. It's that openness, that curiosity, that sense of play that makes intimacy feel alive and endlessly new. Even if you've been with the same partner for years, when a woman brings that energy, the let's try this and see where it takes us attitude, she instantly becomes unforgettable. Not because she's done everything, but because she's willing to try, willing to learn, willing to be in the moment instead of needing everything to go according to plan. You see, for many men, what becomes boring in the bedroom isn't routine itself, it's rigidity. It's when everything starts to feel scripted, predictable, like it's all just playing out the same old movie. But when you show up with a playful energy that says, let's experiment, let's discover, let's mess this up and laugh through it, suddenly the pressure disappears and the desire skyrockets. That kind of sexual spontaneity tells him you're not afraid of the unknown. You're not attached to perfection. You're here to feel, not just perform. And that's what sets a woman apart, when she's not trying to be the best lover, but the most present, the most adventurous, the most in tune with what the moment is asking for. Sometimes that might mean trying something new, a position you've never done, a place outside the bedroom, a new sensation, a role play, a fantasy. But other times, adventure looks more subtle, a question whispered in the dark, a hand moved to a place it's never lingered before, a confession shared while your bodies are tangled together. It's not about wildness for the sake of being wild. It's about discovery, shared exploration, co-creation. And what's most important is this: your sense of adventure doesn't have to look like anyone else's. You don't need to turn into someone you're not. You just need to bring your real curiosity to the surface. Let go of the fear of doing it wrong. Drop the idea that you need to have it all figured out. The truth is, the sexiest moments usually come when something unexpected happens. A shift in rhythm, a burst of laughter, a surprise change in energy. And you go with it. That flexibility, that freedom, that ability to surrender and explore. That's what makes him want more. Because at the end of the day, sex isn't a destination, it's a journey. And a man doesn't want to just arrive somewhere with you. He wants to travel there. He wants to get lost in the twists and turns, to explore terrain he didn't even know existed. And most of all, to feel like he's exploring it with you. That's the kind of experience that leaves him addicted. Not to the act itself, but to you. When it comes down to it, what turns men on in the bedroom isn't some rigid checklist of actions or techniques. It's an energy. It's how you show up. It's the woman you become when you stop worrying about how sexy you look and start trusting how sexy you feel. That's the magic. That's what separates the ordinary from the unforgettable. Because the truth is, the most powerful form of seduction doesn't come from trying to be someone you think he wants. It comes from stepping into the parts of you that are already electric, already magnetic, the parts you may have buried, quieted, or doubted. A confident woman who doesn't ask for permission to feel sexy. A responsive woman who isn't afraid to show when she's moved. A wild woman who lets loose in ways she's never let anyone see. A bold woman who locks eyes and says without a word, "You're mine." An adventurous woman who turns intimacy into a playground of discovery. Those aren't traits reserved for a certain kind of woman. They're inside you. They're part of your emotional DNA. They just need to be given space to breathe. And when you do that, when you lean into your desire, your voice, your fire, you stop being someone he sleeps with and start being someone he can't stop thinking about. So if you've ever felt unsure in the bedroom, if you've ever wondered whether you're doing enough or if he's truly into it, let this be your reminder. What he craves more than technique is truth, your expression, your unapologetic ownership of your body, your pleasure, and your power. When you stop performing and start feeling, everything changes. He doesn't just see a sexy woman, he sees a woman who is alive, a woman who pulls him deeper, not just into her bed, but into her world. And now, I want to turn it over to you. Which of these 5 traits do you feel most connected to? Which one do you want to explore more in your own intimacy? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear where you're at in your journey. Your vulnerability could be the exact inspiration another woman needs tonight. And if you found this video helpful, or if it stirred something inside you. Give it a like. It helps more women discover their power. Subscribe for more content every week on love, desire, and emotional connection. Share this with a friend who needs to hear it, because we rise together. Remember, the most irresistible woman isn't the one who knows all the tricks. She's the one who feels everything and lets herself be felt. You've got that power inside you. Now go set it free.